Miami Show. I'm your host, Damian Pardo. Forward Miami is a local nonprofit. We produce the Gaucho Festival, the Forward Gala, among many other things. We're thrilled today to have as our guest Lena Burke.
Hi.
Lena, welcome to our
Thank
show.
you. Thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about Miami, entertainment, your career. You and your mother are both institutions in our local community. So I thought we would start there and talk a little bit about your background, how you got here.
Yeah, well, I was born in Cuba, in Havana. I studied classical piano for 11 years, and I graduated in Cuba for that. And then I left to Canada, then to Venezuela, and then to Miami.
How old were you?
The tour.
Wait, the tour. How old were you when you ended up coming here?
I left Cuba at 16,
Wow.
and then I got here, in my teenager years, but it was, it was like a little ball that was growing and culture shock and different stuff, going through my mind because, I had my childhood in Cuba and I had to reset my mind to the
Oh my
world.
God! Tell me a little bit about that. I'm because I hear that a lot from
Yeah.
obviously here in Miami. So many people coming from Cuba, but
It's difficult, at the beginning, but I always loved America and what it means and the dreams that you have to build in here. And I came with a positive mind. And I remember when the plane was going down and I saw pasteles, tamales, and all those billboards
like a
and stuff.
welcome.
Yeah. So I said, "Oh, this is my place."
this is your place. That's
So
great.
I really loved Miami when we got here, and I
What's
came
the
here with
biggest
my
shock?
mom.
What was the biggest shock for you?
The biggest shock, well, at the beginning was because we lost everything. We left Venezuela, and I even left my how do you call it? El libro that when you were born, your pictures.
Your book at birth with all of your
Yeah.
album. And,
I left it in Venezuela and never got it back. My
Oh.
memories, my piano books that I was keeping for a long time. And we came here with nothing, to start over from zero. And I built my career in Miami because before I was just student. But my mom started over too. My mom is Lena Burke, and then she's,
but your mom is an institution as well.
yeah, and we came here since the day one to work. You know what I mean? Like we came with a work visa from Venezuela, and I started as my mom's piano player. I did it for 8 years,
Wow.
so I learned a lot, and also the language because I studied English in Canada a little bit. But then when I came here, I went to Miami-Dade College, and it was very funny because my mom went to at the same time with me. We were like
Same class.
with the backpacks.
With the backpacks. Oh God.
And it was really funny. My mom, my boyfriend at the time, and my stepdad, we all went to school together to Miami-Dade College.
Oh my God.
But it was fun, discovering things and learning the English, the culture,
Are you glad you made the transition? That
Yeah, I'm really glad. I always liked American music,
Yeah.
and like a few of my heroes in music were American. Like
Like
Michael
who?
Jackson. I don't know, Chicago. I don't know, big bands that from the 70s, 80s, and Beatles, Bee Gees, and all those artists were kind of prohibited in Cuba. So we couldn't listen to it. Even we couldn't listen to Celia Cruz either.
That's crazy.
So it was a discovery of many things, flavors. I loved IHOP when I got here.
IHOP was good.
Yeah.
I've had friends tell me that they learned to think here, like that they were
too.
not free to think,
That
you
too.
know, and that's to somebody like me that was raised here. That's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
Like I don't. What do you mean? You can think?
It's like not think, but express what you think, and not be afraid to express what you think. Because
What's going on in your head?
exactly, because in Cuba we saw things and we couldn't talk about it, or we were afraid that the neighbor would do something to you if you say you're against it or something like that. You know, it's like you have to have your thoughts for your own.
Yeah.
And
I
don't
guess it's kind of
express
like
it.
bullying in a way, you know? Like
Yeah,
you
it's
just
it's
can't,
bullying.
You
It's
know, you
bullying.
can't really
Definitely.
say anything.
It has helped me that I came young, you know, but also I was formed as a human being already. So it's a process of changing how you think, I came with an open mind, but it's difficult from a socialist country or a communist country to the capitalism. It's a different, everything is different. So
Everything's
you have
different.
to understand and be open and learn a lot of things, how it works, how the banks work. For
Yeah.
example, like things that you were born with it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't.
Right.
So
Or to value your time or money, like how
Exactly.
everything translates,
yeah.
how you have to worry about it.
And you work for money that will, I mean, not only for money, but you get money and it's a reward for your work. You know, in Cuba, it's like you owe everything to the government, so you have to be submissive, and it's like it's not yours. Nothing is yours. So it's
It's a different mindset.
it's totally different. For my mom, it was a little bit different too because she was in his 30s, and it takes longer to understand everything. And I don't know. And my grandmother came too in 2000, and it's a different story, you know, because
Yeah.
generations.
We'll deal differently with it.
Yeah, and things that you never let go. It's like throwing away food, for example.
Yeah, you don't do that.
No.
Well, I was raised like that too.
Okay.
So yeah, that kind of, you know, you save everything.
It stays there.
A jar, you keep it because
Exactly.
you never know when you're going to use the jar.
Exactly.
So with the music though, you did 8 years playing piano for your mom.
Yeah.
And then how did you start going out on your own?
Because also at the same time that I was playing as a musician, as a pianist live, I was doing recordings for other artists, like Chayanne, Gloria Estefan, Plácido Domingo, Jennifer Lopez, Alejandro Sanz, and a lot of artists that were doing their albums in Miami. I was doing the background vocals for them in sessions in studio. And I learned a lot from two other American that sang with me, Wendy Peterson and Raúl Midón, which is another, they're both great singers and jazz performers now. And I learned a lot from them, and it was, you know, my way to get the American
Feel for it.
you know, being the Cuban one in the room, but I learned a lot, and I really appreciate what they taught me, you know. Like, for example, when I got here from Venezuela, I always said, I hate this, I hate that, and like, you know, odio esto, like a kid, no?
Yeah.
And Wendy told me, you don't hate. Hate is a very strong word. You really don't hate your notebook or your pen. Don't say it that much. And I learned that. Till this day, I don't say that word ever.
Wow.
You know? It's like
Talk
I always...
about how somebody can influence you.
Yes.
You know, just like, that's like an act of kindness. Because some
Yes.
people would have just let you keep saying
Doing
it.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also the word stupid, I never say it because of her, because she told me, that's a very strong word and you don't say it.
Oh,
and
I'm
it's
guilty.
tough, you know?
I still
But
say
you know,
it.
you say it like you don't.
Yeah.
You really don't mean it when
No.
you say those things. But you know, you get to learn things from people that stay in your mind forever and taught a lesson. You know.
Yeah. So you won a Grammy, right? So
Yeah.
you've
After that, I did my solo album
Yeah.
in 2003. I signed with a record label, Warner Music, and then I did my first solo album. It came out in 2005, and then I've been nominated a few times, and until I got it.
That's great, though. That's a wonderful career. I mean, that's rich.
Yeah, and it's been building up, and you know, it's a journey. It's a journey, and it has a lot of ups and downs. And music is beautiful, but the music industry is not as beautiful as the music.
As the music. That's a good way to put it.
You know, but you learn the business, how to deal with it, and you say no to things, you say yes to other things, and it's a beautiful learning process, you know, that has taken me to this point today.
And in Miami, how do you describe it? Because I noticed that we seem to have so much talent in Miami. You
Yes.
know, and all of you seem to work really well together.
Yeah, more than ever, because a lot of people come from, not just from Cuba, but from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Peru, from Argentina. There's a lot of mixed cultures here in Miami. I feel like I'm from Miami. I came
Young.
from Cuba, young, but this is my town. This is my home. And even when you get angry with Miami sometimes, you come back. Because I've lived in Mexico and in Spain and Puerto Rico, but I come back here because
back.
this is our home.
Even
you know?
with the traffic.
Yes.
Even with the traffic.
But then when you go to Mexico, there's more traffic, and you go to New York, there's more traffic.
Yeah.
So Miami's not that bad.
Not that bad, right?
Yeah, but yeah, we get together, artists. We are a community of artists here from different countries, from different backgrounds, and I always think there is a space for everyone, you know. And if you can collaborate, it enrich your culture, your craft, and your music. So it's good to collaborate with other artists and musicians, and you learn from everybody a little bit.
How can people, you know, people watching the show, just people in general, help support Miami artists?
Well, I think you should go to more concerts.
Yeah, that would be good, right?
Yes, please.
I'm always blown away because when I do go to the concerts, and I try to go as much as I can, when I do go, there's so much talent on that stage. I'm talking about from percussion to,
Yes.
you know, the
Horns, strings.
My
and-
God.
yeah.
And I always leave thinking, all these people have jobs here, they have lives here,
Yeah.
and they're amazing at what they do. We're so lucky
Yes,
that
we are.
that we have them, you know, to
Yeah.
go to.
And there is when we got to Miami, there was like just like 2 or 3 Latin places, you know, like that where you could play Latin music. There was not a lot. And in the 1995, I came, and it was just I don't know. We came to a place that was called Centro Vasco that
Oh my God,
doesn't
I remember with the
exist anymore.
dolphin?
Yes. And then there was Nostalgia in front, and a few other places, of course. But we started there, and later now you see there's a lot of places open. Calle Ocho is huge with a lot of, you know, movement and tourists, and it has grown, and it's good to be here and see that growth. You know,
I also noticed a change, like an opening of all kinds of acts, Caribbean acts,
Yep.
you know, Haitian artists, like
Yeah.
just a whole mix.
Yes.
I love the openness
yes.
because we get to see different, you know, differences.
Yeah. For example, my boyfriend, which is a percussionist and a drummer, he plays a lot with Haitians, and he's Cuban. But in the music, we all mix because we have roots that are close together, you know, in music, and you know, it's beautiful to see that that mix and enrich of the folklore, you know, that
Yeah.
of each country that has something to do with each other.
Yeah.
From the islands, from the, I don't know, from the Latin America, South America. And it's really cool in Miami that we all get to mix a little bit. Of course, there is like when you want to go like pure, you have like pure with your music. You don't mix that much. If I have a special concert, like a special kind of music of genre. But I love mixtures for sure, because it enriches your music and your world, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I wish more people knew about it so that they could come and see it, because I feel like it's still not really, you know, most
there,
peop- Yeah, it's not really out there. Most people go to the theater or something, but they don't really understand that they could just
Yeah.
go and listen and
different type of music.
Many different types of music. And a lot of times you don't even have to necessarily pay a cover for that. You know, it's provided by the establishment.
Yeah, there's a lot of new places in Wynwood and Calle Ocho and in Miami Beach too, and different parts. Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
That
It's
weren't
out
open
west.
before, you know.
Yeah. Doral,
yeah.
La Mesa, and
lot.
other places.
and a lot of plays too. For a lot of theaters, a lot of small theaters that we should support them because it enrich our culture in general, you know, in our city.
Definitely. Well, I know you have a couple of projects that are coming up, and we wanted to talk a little bit about those.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's coming up for you?
Yeah. Thank God we have a lot of work this year. It's been good. It's been busy after all the the stop that we had before, but we have coming up. We're gonna end the year singing and open the year singing and doing music, which
That's
is
great.
I love it. On New Year's Eve, we're gonna be performing, my mom and I in a place that's called Renaissance at the Gables. It's a banquet hall, and we're gonna do like what we talked about, a little bit of music from everywhere. A little bit from Venezuela, parrandas, like conga cubana, and like merengue from Dominicana, Colombian cumbias, a little bit for everybody. And it's gonna be good because it's been 3 years since we're doing that. Also, we're performing at 6 at Bayfront Park, which is another party for people to go for free. And
Bayfront Park is free, right?
Yeah.
It's open to everyone?
Yeah.
And what day is
6.
that?
The same day.
Same day.
New Year's Eve, but from 6, we're going to start there early, and then we'll go to the other place later.
Wow, you have a very full
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Last year, I didn't get to drink the champagne or anything. I was
You were
playing
just
like
working the whole time? My
Yeah.
God.
But it's good. It's good to be doing music. It's a blessing.
Yeah. And what other projects do you think are lined up?
Well, opening the year, we have the Gay Festival,
Yeah.
Gay A Festival.
Gay Ocho, absolutely.
Gay Ocho, of course.
You will be there. We're very happy that you will be there. And you guys are fantastic.
Last year was amazing, and we had so much fun. See the people there together, and it's free for the audience, and it's good to do those things for our community, for our people.
Yeah.
to get
I mean, for
together.
the people that have never heard, it's a diversity and inclusion festival. And I think what makes it special is the people that show up,
Yes.
because they're so different
Yeah.
and they're just from everywhere. And it's nice to see people just having a nice time. It's just to have fun together.
And it's really, quiet, people with families, and people enjoying, food and music and dancing, and it's really good. And in our Calle Ocho, so
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, it's comfortable, but then with the carroza at the end with the comparsa, that's crowd. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's the
that's the great
fiesta, the end of the fiesta.
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to be part of it. I thank you for that. And our friend George Cabrera that
Yes.
passed, and he
Yes.
brought me to you guys, and I'm forever grateful for that.
No, me too.
And also, I'm releasing an album next year, and
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's I'm cooking it right now in the studio. I have a studio at home, and we built it through the pandemic. So it's we've been working nonstop at home and doing
And does
that.
your mother work as hard as you do?
Yeah, my mom performs like every week, every other week. She had a TV
Wow.
show also with 2 other ladies, Maria Laria, which is a great conductor, presenter, and with Marisela Verena, another of our greatest singers, songwriters, composers. And she's been busy too. She's 64 and kicking ass.
And kicking ass.
Yes.
Wow. And so you have a studio that you built in your house.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend, and we do the recordings there. Right now, I'm the voice of the Telemundo's commercial, and the campaign is called Contigo, which is like we're all together with them, and It's really beautiful.
Oh, that's fantastic.
A lot of projects coming, you know, a play, it's working there too. And we did a play in Colony Theater last year, and maybe that's coming back too. And so many projects for
What was
next
the
year.
play called?
It was called En la vida hay amores, like the song.
Yeah.
It was like opera bolero play, and it was really, really, really cool because it
An
was
opera bolero.
yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because everything the couple said to each other, it was a couple, main couple, and a narrator. And the guy that did it was Cesar Miguel Rondon, a great news guy, and also anchor, and also melomano is the people that love music and know everything about music. And he did that, and he wrote it, but in a way that you say everything singing to each other, like an opera. You know, you don't speak in the play, and it was really, really cool. Like I answer him, and he answered me with songs. You know, and the lyrics make sense to each other, and it was beautiful. We did that with El Pollo Brito, which is a Venezuelan singer, actor too, and it was great. I think it's gonna be coming back next year too.
When you think about the music scene and you think about Miami, what would you like to see in the future? What do you think is needed? What do you think could build it better?
Well, I think maybe we can get together more, you know, and in plays and theaters. I don't know. It's growing, you know. It's been growing year after year, but it's always better to get together and do music, art together. Not only
Do you
music.
think there are enough organizations doing that, like helping bring that?
I don't think so. No, there's not enough.
So there could be maybe more government funding.
Yeah, because for example, I've worked a lot in Spain and Mexico, and they always, they have a lot of institutions that pay for those projects for people to go for free, for example, and it's very difficult because in here it's more difficult to do that.
Well, I agree with you because, for example, the prides that they do or the festivals that they do throughout Madrid are sponsored by the government.
Yes,
They're funded by the government, which
Yes.
is, we have to like
do it like
beg, borrow.
yeah. Yeah,
It's not easy. So that's definitely something. I agree with that. I think that there should be more funding for organizations to help promote the arts, music, and collaboration.
Of course. We need to like follow those steps. Like in Spain, for example, because there's a history in Spain of doing that. Like every ayuntamiento, like every government of every city,
every municipality,
exactly, has money especially for that, and for movies, and for this and for that, and theater and stuff, festivals. But we need to work a little more in here for that too.
Yeah, I think that helps us understand each other better too. We understand our stories, our roots.
Yeah.
In a way that's pleasant.
Yes.
Nobody's telling you what you need to do. You're just doing it indirectly.
Exactly. Yeah, and we get to know a little more of the culture of everybody that is here. That and building the city more and more each day.
I always ask this, but I'm curious. If you had a magic wand, what would you change in Miami? That's hard.
Yes.
It seems like it's an easy thing.
But no, it's not. Let me think. What I would change? I don't know.
I told you it's hard because it's just one.
Yeah, just one. I would get people to be more open to understand each other, and not judge. I think
Well, that's exactly what Forward Miami tries to do.
Exactly.
Get people to lower the political stuff and
and get together and respect. That's the main thing, I think. When you judge, you trespass respect, and I think we should respect each other's opinion and way of thinking. because that's the way we get along, respecting each other.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to end because, as I told you, the time flies by and we're already out of time.
Ya se acabó.
Ya se acabó, se terminó el programa. But Lena, thank you
But
so
it was
much
great.
for joining us. Thank you very, very much. And to all the viewers out there, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you again next week.